everyone, today I'm going to show you a tutorial on how you can make an amazing game. Simple but yet amazing. It's called Maze Runner with using Scratch. Alright, so let's start. So first of all, I'm going to choose my characters here. So these characters we call sprites. So there's a couple of options here. You can upload the sprites if you have some characters, or you can paint on your own as well, and you can just choose provided in galleries. There are so many animals, people's fantasies. If you scroll down you can see many more. Okay, so you can just simply choose whatever your favorite character is. So for this game I am choosing a cat. Okay, and then I'm just going to reduce the sizes of this cat. Okay, and then after that, the same thing with the sprite. You can always um, choose a backdrop which is provided in the gallery, but since I'm going to create a maze runner, so I'm just going to paint my maze. You can also upload some maze design from the Googles and upload it here. I was just painted on my own, so it's super easy. I provide it already. So what you can do here is when you're going to create a new maze path, okay, you can either using the save or using this or this one. So for this one I just simply use lines, black lines, to make it look like it's a path, labyrinth and stuff like that. And just use your imagination, use your creativities to create a complex maze designs and all that things, right? It's super easy. So this is for example. There you go, and we are done. So this is, if you want to make it, you can just choose the colors, you can reduce the sizes, you can also remove you make mistakes and undo, and there's so many features you can explore here, right? So I'm just going to use whatever maze I created as of now. So I'm just going to make sure that I started my sprite in the same coordinate. So you might heard about coordinate when you're on your 6th grade perhaps, or even higher grades. So coordinate is basically best known as x and y. So according to the x, which is refers to the left or right, it is currently on the left, which is -64, and up and down for y -151. So y is refers to vertical and x refers to horizontal. So on the left side it's always with the x minus, and if we make it positive it will turn to the right, the opposite sides. The same things with y. Okay, if it's down it is always with the negative number, but if it's going up it will start it with a positive number. So what happened if we're going to put the cat or the sprite in the center? So we should put 0 0. So this is maths rules, right? So now we are done with the sprite, selecting the characters or the sprite here, and we're done with painting the maze. We're going to make sure that we are putting this sprite into the same coordinate all the time whenever we start the game, right? So we don't want this sprite to move anywhere except this specific spot when we start the game. For that we have to make sure that the cat will always start from the same coordinate. Now how we can start? Okay, this area is called stage areas. Okay, once you finish your design you will then move to the next sections. The one in the middle, the blank one, called script. So in the left where you see the blocks, the colorful blocks here, is called block palette. So in the block palettes you can choose many labels here. Okay, there's a motion, looks, sounds, events, control. Each of these labels represents different categories for the blocks. Okay, so when you scroll up and you scroll down, and when colors is already changed, which means it refers to the different functions, right? So suppose I'm going to the events, so I'm going to get these things. Okay, events means it's like a start button when you play a game kind of things, right? So without this specific button the program won't run, right? So I'm going to start putting the next instructions below this when green flag click. Okay, this green flag refers to this one. So when green flag clicks, I want the coordinate of the sprite will always start it from the same coordinate, which is minus 64, and minus 149, which is left down, or what we can see it's the current position of this cat located. So suppose I put this cat here, then the cat will always whenever I start the program or I run the program, the cat will always come back to the same coordinate all the time. Okay, so we are done with that. The next step for us is to create the four coordinate. What is the four coordinates? So when we are talking about x and y, it is up, down, left, and right. So for that, we're going to use a different events, which is up, okay, and then we're going to choose down. So when we have up, we have down. The same thing with the right and left, right? But we're going to do this one by one. So when we're talking about up, it is always refers to verticals, or what best known in the code is change y. Why is it we are using change? It's because it keep on changing. So when we are going to play this sprite to reach this age, this sprite will need to find its way to reach this age. That means the y will be changed also. So if I put this change y by 10, then it will go up, as you can see. But so it keep on changing. So now I'm going to just duplicate the same code for down. I have to change it to minus because the rules of y for down will be minus. So that is why now you can see that is going down. You can see also whenever I click up or down arrow on my keyboard, then you can see the program is run, and you can see there's a small blink there. It means the program is currently running for specific blocks, right? So now I'm going to continue making the direction, making the blocks, the codes for the right and left. So I'm going to pick up the same thing from these things and change it to right arrow. So when we're talking about right arrow, on the right arrow, we're just going to change the opposite, which is x. Okay, so right arrow is always refers to the positive. Okay, so let us try. There you go, it's moving to the right. So I'm just going to simply right click on here and duplicate. Then I will just change this because it's a duplicate, so I have to make sure I have to change it to the left. And then after that, the rules of left for x should be negative. So there you go, I have my up, I have my down, I have my left, and I have my right. So I am pretty much done with the four coordinate. Now I have to put some goals at the edge to make the project more interesting. Perhaps if a cat will eat fish, perhaps. So I'm just going to simply search and look for a simple, cute, small fishbowl and maybe reduce the sizes perhaps a bit. So let's say like this much. So this is pretty cool. Now, going back to sprite 1, which is cat. I can just simply put a name. Now, it's going to be a very easy game if you just, as you can see, it's very much easy, right? So you can easily reach the goal. So we don't want, it's a game, ideally it should be a little bit challenging. So let's put more challenge by using an if condition. Now in programming, what is if conditions? So we can have it in control. So if condition is a condition. So special conditions, for example, you want to you are hungry, then you eat. That's the action that you will do when you are hungry. You are drinking when you are thirsty. But most probably, if you are not thirsty, then you won't drink or eat or something like that. So if this action will only have, this if function will only happen, the all whatever instruction we're going to put inside this if will only happen uh, for this particular, for example, like this. So if touching color, as you can see, this is a maze. Okay, this looks like a border. So ideally, the cat should not go through the border. It should look like a border. So we have to make sure that it is the same color like we have right now. So just choose the color picker here, and there you go. So we have this. So if touching color, then the challenge that we're going to put is to make sure that this cat will always come back to the same direction, coordinate I mean. Okay, and then this is what happened. Okay, so if touching color, ideally it should happen. So as you can see, nothing exactly happened right now even after we put the condition. So we have to put a loops here. So put forever loop, and let's see.